Good afternoon and welcome to BNC Live. I'm Naja Sherman in today for Laverne McGee. A federal judge issued an order blocking Texas's 6-week abortion ban, and it also prevents any officer from the state from enforcing that ban. That includes the $10,000 lawsuits that were made possible by the law. The judge says the bill unlawfully prevents women from exercising control over their lives in ways that are protected by the Constitution. But it may only be a temporary victory. The ruling is already being appealed in the state. I am joined now by civil rights attorney James Cook. Thank you so much for being with us this afternoon.
Thank you for having me.
So what does this ruling mean for women in Texas who may want to terminate their pregnancies?
Yeah, right now it puts the ruling, it's an injunction. An injunction basically says that you have to stop whatever conduct you're engaged in. So theoretically, for the time being, it temporarily stops the ban. For instance, the people can't bring those individual lawsuits against women who seek abortions. But you know, the fight is not over.
The fight is not over. And I mean, these were extremely restrictive and sort of brought into questions even civil rights violations. Essentially, neighbors could check on neighbors or report them. But I'm curious, what reasoning did the judge give for his ruling?
So, you know, many of the things that you just said is that the main crux of the codification of the Supreme Court laws being, you know, Casey and Planned Parenthood, they state that you can't make, seeking an abortion unduly burdensome, and that was basically the basic rationale of Judge Pittman's ruling today.
And
so yeah.
And you think about the people who have financial resources and access, they would still be able to get the procedure, but it's, you know, people in financially challenging situations, which we know disproportionately impacts Black and brown communities. You know, we know Texas officials plan to appeal this decision. So what are the next steps in this legal process?
Well, so the next step is, just like you said, it's going to go to the Fifth Circuit. That's what everybody expects. And there's been some talk about how they are conservative judges, but the judges can rule in one of two ways. They can kind of kick it down the road, sort of like the federal Supreme Court did, or they can hear it and they can overturn this judge's ruling. But again, this will again go to I believe all the way up to the United States Supreme Court. In the meantime, what people can do is, number one, they can vote. That's the overall solution, and you know that for the overall picture, because these are elected officials who are enacting these laws. And then definitely, if in the meantime you're seeking an abortion, you can go and talk to the clinics about some of your alternative options for seeking an abortion.
Wow. You know, as you mentioned, it is quite likely that the Supreme Court will have the final say when it comes to the legality of abortion. Will this federal judge's ruling have any weight with the justices?
I think so, because again, we're talking about a constitutional issue, something that has been established in the Constitution, and there's arguments that you can make. I mean, like you said, it disproportionately affects Black women. And people of color in general, so you can make 14th Amendment equal protection arguments in that favor, and even I mean maybe go so far as to make a 13th Amendment argument. Denying ability to do birth control is a badge and incidence of slavery.
Well, will be extremely interesting to see how this all plays out, and so impactful in our communities. Thank you so much for your insight this afternoon. Newly released body camera footage